Everyone, hey, I'm back with another video lecture, and today we're going to discuss about the other concepts that we have starting in the last lecture, the fundamentals, basically definitions, or you can say the essential for analyzing human body, injury mechanisms, and the therapeutic interventions in physical therapy. Basic the fundamental concepts of forces in biomechanics or physics. Majorly, what we are going to discuss today is force, the other one is center of gravity. Majorly, as you know, the force can be thought as a pull or push acting on a body. So, it every force, okay, every force that is acting on any object has three major characteristics, okay. First, how strong the force is. Second, the path in which the force is applied. The third, the point or the force is applied on a specific body or object. So majorly, how strong the force is called at its magnitude, okay? The path in which the force is applied is called as its direction. And where the force is applied on the object or body, it's basically its point of application. So majorly where the force is applying on any object. As you know, we have taken many examples, but I can just give you a example of any of the pen, or you can say that the thing that is not movable. I can just place a pen in a on a table and just start moving it in a different direction. Okay, like from one side to other side, from right to left, left to right. But if I applied it, or I basically change the point of application, or where the force is applied, maybe from the top, sometimes maybe from the bottom, sometimes. So it can basically change its way how the force is acting on that object. Okay. So this is how you can say that, and brief example of force acting on any body. So majorly, the examples of force acting on a human body includes, as you have seen here, on a highlight part, that is body weight, friction, air or water resistance. Majorly, body weight is acting as a force in your body. Other than that is the friction. Of course, you know that friction is acting everywhere on your body, as you know that many different objects can cause that type of friction related to your human body. Third one, the environment, okay, the air, the water, everything can cause some kind of restriction, some kind of some resistance. That is also the force acting on a human body. Okay, so remember, everything is the example of forces acting on a human body, and major of these are body weight, friction, air or water resistance. Now the Newton's second law of motion, as you know that F is equals to ma, sorry, says that the action of a force causes acceleration in the body's mass expressed by the equation F is equals to ma. As you know, F is force, m is mass, a is acceleration. So, action of force can cause change majorly. Acceleration means, as you know, that change in body's mass. Okay. And in the last lecture, we have discussed the mass is different from the weight. Okay. What we have discussed is mass is basically the mass is the quantity of matter contained in any object. Okay. The quantity of matter that compose a body, that is its mass. It is not same like its weight. Okay, so basically the product of mass and acceleration is its force. Okay, here are different units, as you have know that 1 Newton is equals to 1. Immediately you can just scroll it up. Okay, 1 newton is equals to 1 kg per square meter per square, and 1 pound is equals to, as you know, 1 slug foot per second square. So majorly what you have seen here is, but just take a small brief know that 1 pound is equals to 4.45 newtons. Okay, this is majorly the conversion of English to metric system, metric to English system. But this is not that type of like conversation that we can just start and open discussing here. These are the major units. In metric system, you can say the Newton is the first unit, and in English system, you can say the standard unit is pound. Okay. Now the other things are related to that, but just remember 1 pound is equals to 4.45 newtons. Okay. Now the free body and free body diagrams, as we have discussed in physics, etc. There are many kind of free body diagrams. To analyze force acting on any object, we often draw a free body diagram. A free body is any object, body, or part of the body that you focus on. Okay? What is free body? Any body, any object, or any part of the body. For example, you just take an arm as an example to focus on forces that are acting on your arm. Okay, so that is the part of your body that you are focusing on. So this is the free body of that you have taken as an example or sample. A free body diagram is a sketch showing a object of interest and all the forces acting on it as vectors. Okay, you can just take any object and see what are the forces acting on and in what direction. That is basically shown by the vectors itself. In your book, okay, we can just scroll it down. There are some examples that are here. Okay, so basically, majorly, if the free body is a tennis racket, okay, the force from the hand is shown as a vector. Okay, what you are going to see here. Force applied by any of the player is acting on this direction. Okay, weight is acting on this direction, air is acting on this, and contact of force of any ball that is connecting with tennis racket or that comes in contact with any racket, that is majorly, you can say that this is the its force that is basically dissipates, or you can say that is removed from any ball and can act on the your racket. So if the free body is a tennis ball, okay, instead of tennis racket, you can just take a free body tennis ball. The force from the racket is represented as a vector, as you can see here, a big long arrow that shows the force applied by a racket. Okay, weight and air resistance is always present, as we have discussed before. So majorly, these are the examples of these are the some examples of free body diagrams or free body um, rackets or some kind of any of the free body like tennis rackets, ball, and you can just see in like that. You can take example of human body and its part. As you know, net force or resultant force is a vector sum of all forces acting on a body. Balance forces, net force is equals to zero, as because no acceleration is happening there, the object stays still or move at constant velocity. As you know, net force is the sum of all forces acting on a body. So, if some kind of acceleration is acting, or maybe the object stays still or move at a constant velocity, the net force is zero. These kind of forces are called as balanced forces. Okay, and unbalanced forces, when net force is not equal to zero, as you know that there are many kind of derivations that you can discuss here. So causes the object to accelerate in a direction of the net force. Majorly when the object moves, the net force is not equal to zero. Okay, if they are not moving at a constant velocity, so some kind of acceleration is present there. Acceleration is proportional to the magnitude of the net force. So majorly these are the major examples of net forces or forces acting on any of the human body and any of the body. Okay, just take your body part an example and discuss what are the forces acting on, what kind of gravity acts on that, etc., etc. Okay, the center of gravity that we have to discuss today, the other thing is basically, as you know, the point around which a body weight is equally balanced no matter how the body is positioned. It's its center of gravity or center of mass. Majorly, what you can say, that point around the which the body weight is equally balanced no matter how the body is positioned is its center of gravity. Okay, in motion analysis, the motion of center of gravity serves as an index of total body motion. As you know that takes like a proper standard index, okay, to discuss any of the total body motion or working when you can working on any analysis on a human body. So you can take this index as a very important indicator to understand that what kind of forces are acting, what in what position the body is balanced, and what kind of different things are acting on that body. Okay, so center of gravity is the center of mass, remember. From a kinetic perspective, the location of center of mass determines the way in which the body responds to external forces. Okay, kinetic perspective says that the location of the center of mass is basically determine the body response to any of the external forces. Okay, as you know, the external forces are air resistance, body itself. You know that the any of the change, forcing, friction, and many other forces, gravity. These are the external forces. Okay, and any force that is applied, like as a therapist, you can move any of the limb. That is an external force. So these kind of forces can majorly determines the way in which body responds to any of the external forces. That is called as because you have to find the location of center of mass. Okay, so this is the center of gravity, the point around which a body weight is equally balanced no matter how the body is positioned in its center of gravity. Majorly, the center of gravity is second sacral vertebra, but some individual there might be slight fluctuation, but majorly the second sacral vertebra is considered as the center of mass, center of gravity of any of the human body. So this is all for today. So see you next time. Bye bye.